Bizarre Brain Comics. Hello, my comic book friends, and welcome to Bizarre Brain Comics. I'm Gary, your host, and this is where I like to take a look at some older comics, talk a little bit about the characters and creators, and examine the stories and the art. Well, this time, I spilled. This time, I want to take a look at this. I showed it briefly a couple of weeks or so ago. When I showed a bunch of X-Men trade paperbacks. Of course, this is, the X-Men animation special. It's a Marvel graphic novel from 1990. Okay, and this is Pride of the X-Men, which was the animated pilot episode from Marvel Productions for animated series, which did not take. This was years before the better known and much beloved X-Men animated series, X-Men 97, the original X-Men 97. And of course, and from this was script was adapted by Danny Fingeroth from the teleplay by Larry Parr. Okay, and this episode was broadcast in 1989, as part of the Marvel Action Universe on TV. It was later released on videotape, which is where I know it from. I used to have a videotape of it. And it was narrated by Stan Lee. And I think it is, even though I haven't watched it there yet myself, from what I understand, it is available on YouTube. So if you're so inclined, go check it out. Especially if you've never seen it before. And you happen to be an X-Men fan. And this is not like a regular comic adaptation of the script. This is, as you can possibly tell here, using stills from the original production. And here you can see it. A truck of some kind. Looks like a tanker on part of a convoy going somewhere, and hear someone yelling, "Release me!" Well, that is Magneto. He has been captured, imprisoned somehow by someone, by the government, and he's being transported somewhere, and he's held in inside this stasis field of some kind. But suddenly, stuff hits the fan. There is the White Queen. She is attacking. And of course, the White Queen, I think, is what is her name? I suddenly can't think of her name. Anyway, and of course, in later years, she is one of the X-Men. Emma Frost. That's it. So she is attacking, disabling the vehicle, which basically frees Magneto. The guards try to stop him, and Magneto fights back, bursts out, and they get away. Meanwhile, at the X mansion, a cab drives up, and a young teenage girl gets out. It says, she doesn't really know why she's here. She's been invited and transportation paid for. She goes there. This is when she's really freaked out when she gets this ghostly image of Professor X, who leads her to the real Professor X. And he reveals, of course, it is the home of the X-Men, and his school for gifted children, gifted youngsters. That's what it was. And reveals that he and they are all mutants, and so is she. Of course, she doesn't believe it because she's heard all kinds of bad stuff about mutants, and she doesn't want to believe that she is a mutant, even though she's got some mutant powers. They're talking here, showing her around, and the other X-Men are in the danger room. So this is danger room control, and she sees stuff. Oh, this is where the X-Men are being introduced. Cyclops, kabam, kabam, and Colossus. He transforms, and smash, smash, and then Dazzler, and then Wolverine, Snick. Now this is funny because, as I recall, that was so unusual because they gave Wolverine an Australian accent. And that's so funny because there are no Wolverines in Australia. So he's supposed to be Canadian. and I think I mentioned before that supposedly, from what something that I read or saw or whatever, Hugh Jackman, after he got the part of Wolverine, he did not know what a Wolverine was. He had to look it up. He thought it was some kind of wolf thing. So, of course, he was wrong. And then Nightcrawler. But Nightcrawler just scares the bejeebus out of her. And she panics, falls back, and she accidentally, because Kitty's pride is power is phasing through solid material, and she phases through the controls, screws stuff up, and falls into the danger room, and everything goes about to go haywire. Saved by Colossus, hint hint, because they later have a relationship, and Wolverine just is not thrilled with the idea of Kitty being there, going to be part of the X-Men or anything like that. Then they get an alert and they have to take off. Some kind of something bad happening somewhere, so they get introduces to the Blackbird. They get into Blackbird, leaving Kitty with Professor X, who will lead from behind, because, well, that's what he does. It's where he's capable of. But they don't know that it was all a ruse. Yes, the event is actually going on, but while they take off, leaving the X-Mansion and the headquarters of the X-Men basically unguarded, and which is what Magneto with Juggernaut, who of course is Xavier's stepbrother, and they head to the house. Meanwhile, at the event that lured them away is at the Deep Space Observatory, and Pyro and the Blob are doing stuff, getting some information, and holding people captive inside a cage of flames. X-Men get there, and Blob and Colossus go head to head, and Colossus can't move him. Colossus just can't move him, and Pyro holds him back. Meanwhile, all the mansion's defenses are against Juggernaut. Now this is like almost directly from an old comic when that first introduced Juggernaut, when he come on a rampage, going through all the defenses to smash into the because he was after Xavier. But they managed to get in, or getting through the, and Kitty's saying, "Oh, what are we going to do? I'm scared." And Xavier realizes he is after a specific circuit in Cerebro, the supercomputer, and he gets that from telepathy. He manages to get through the helmets, and he removes that gizmo, this specific circuit, and tells Kitty to run, get it away from there. And Professor X is confronted by the two villains while Kitty runs off. But Magneto does an end run, and she is so frightened, and he uses his magnetic powers to have her come in contact with electrical wires. She gets zapped, drops the circuit, and phases through the floor instinctively to get away. He gets the circuit. The X-Men return, to find the mansion in shambles. Kitty is still horrified by Nightcrawler. Says, "Get away, get away!" And she seeks comfort in Dazzler, and then Wolverine gripes some more. And then they said, "He's got it. We know he's able to Professor X is able to discover where they're at on the Magneto's asteroid headquarters. So they have to get up there via the here we see the circuit on the asteroid, and has Toad inserted properly into their own special equipment dish. And here they have this little mutant little dragon thing, and they're all mean to it. Wonder why. And he starts energizing his gizmos, which starts pulling a comet that is on a near flyby, and it tracks it to Earth, because his plan is to have it crash into Earth and destroy human civilization so the mutants can take over. And this is what Professor X discovers. Now they take off, get ready, and take off towards the asteroid. But Kitty, well, we'll find out. Tell her to stay there. She has to stay behind. They get up there, get to the asteroid in their spacesuits. They get inside. Then they are confronted. But meanwhile, still in the ship is Professor X. There's Kitty. He knew. She stowed away. She got in a spacesuit. She has to. This is my fault. I have to help them. Well, kablooey, 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 and they confront one enemy after another, and the group has to break off, leave one person behind each time to leave fight off the villain while the others go on ahead. There it is, Pyro and Toad. Wolverine gets rid of, takes care of Toad, Juggernaut, and Colossus, and they go head to head. And then it's Cyclops and Emma. No. Yes, Cyclops and Emma Frost. Yeah, and leaving the Nightcrawler to go on ahead by himself, but he easily gets around the Blob. Then it's just him against Magneto. When Kitty pops up and wants to stop him that's when the little dragon, who we later know as Lockheed, well, he decides to get his 2 cents in, and helps Kitty against Magneto. The thing is accidentally damaged, but it's drawing still drawing the comet towards Earth. Nightcrawler gets up there, fixes the stuff, and they arrange it so it's pulling the comet towards the asteroid instead. And it's heading there. Oh, but it has if he lets go, it'll head back to Earth. So they've got to get everybody out. So, but Kitty stays to the last minute with Nightcrawler, and Nightcrawler says, "I can get out." So they get out of there. Magneto gets his people out of there until at the very last second, poof, Nightcrawler poofs out into the into space, but he's falling towards unconscious and falling into the atmosphere. Going to burn up, going to burn up, going to burn up. They manage. But at the last second, he manages to poof himself back into the ship. He is saved, and then Kitty and Nightcrawler become fast friends. And Wolverine is still not happy about her being there, and that is the end of this episode. But the X-Men will be back, and Magneto will be the threat. And it's a fun read. I remember I liked it. In some ways, I think I liked this better than I liked the first episode of the X-Men '97 series. But I'm not sure, since I haven't seen it in so long. But it's something neat to have. It's something you don't see very often, and at least I don't. Of course, there are a lot of things out here in BFE that I don't see as much as people in the East and on the far West Coast see more often. But that's it. That's all I had to share with you this time. So I do want to thank you for joining me. Please like, share, subscribe. Leave your comments down below. Have you seen the program that this is based on before? Have you seen this particular graphic novel? Anything like that? Do you like this one as opposed to the X-Men '97, or vice versa? Let me know in the comments below. Anything like that. And remember, comics are art.